Off Script with Super E recommends listener discretion as these real but sometimes uncensored stories can be filled with mature content.
Hey everybody, this is A-Train, and this is Off Script with Super E. And here's Super E.
What's up, everybody? How you doing on this rainy day?
Yep, it's raining here too. Yep, cold and rainy.
Yes. I'm out in the garage because we're doing the podcast with the family in the house, and they banished me out here because they want to hear our stupid shit.
Even your family doesn't want to hear this damn podcast.
You could hear, if I was in there, you would hear on the podcast, boo.
Boo! Oh, gosh. Well, I'll tell you what. I am going to hang on to every word, and I'm going to cheer. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And I know you got a full seat on your chair, but you only need 3 inches of it because you'll be on the edge of it the whole time.
All right. Let's get started.
All right.
Let's hear it.
All right. Well, a while back, before I even started this podcast, somebody asked me, had I ever had any run-in with clergy members in our investigations of the bathrooms and the parks where guys are doing public sex acts?
Okay.
And I said, kind of a coincidence. I have numerous times, but the two that come to mind is, again, we were in that downtown business bathroom.
Okay.
And it was a large bathroom, tons of stalls, a lot of traffic in and out, a lot of kids, a lot of, young boys going in and out between the ages of 8 and 16 and all that. So, people were seeing, these kids were walking in on guys having sex, a lot of complaints, parents were madder than hell.
They
had us down there.
Hey, is this the same bathroom that had the glory hole in it for a while?
Yes. Exact same one. But this was on the opposite end of the stall area where the glory hole was.
Got it.
So I'm down there, lunchtime, tons of traffic. And the glory hole and everything, it was all filled up with hungry, willing participants. So I'm at the other end. I'm just sitting there. Basically you just sit on the commode, minding your own business.
Right.
And next thing I know, I could see this guy. He was like in his early 40s. This guy walks by me, and, there's cracks between the stall doors and the wall. Mm-hmm. You could see in who's in there and what they're doing. Okay. Basically, this guy, he sees me, a young Jump Street with my long flowing mullet.
Yes.
And he sees me, walks past me several times. Then he starts tapping on the door, wanting me to open up.
Oh, God.
Then he pulls himself up and is looking down on me. What are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm minding my own business, because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And then he's walking around again. Next thing I know, I'm thinking, this guy's up to something. Let me see what it is. Next thing you know, he slides on his back like he's on a mechanics thing, slides like he's sliding on a car, looking at me. What you doing now? What's going on now? What you doing? I said, dude, you know what? You've got to dial it down a little bit. So then I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go out of this stall because I'm not going to be, because he's expecting me to pull out my penis and start masturbating. And we didn't do that. Well, I didn't. And so I'm saying, you know what? I'm just going to walk out of here and see what this guy does. So I just open up the stall door, and I'm walking out, and this guy just comes up to me. He's doing the staring into my eyes thing.
Yeah.
Like he's, what do you call it? Like he's,
just,
I don't know, trying to seduce me with his eyes.
Yeah, looking longingly into your eyes.
Yeah, looking long. And I'm like going, I can't break his gaze. I'm hypnotized. And then as he gets right up to me, he just reaches out and grabs my crotch in the hold, like Baron von Raschke with the claw hold. I was like, go! And he goes, hey, let's get together. Let's do something. Come on. I said, you got to either get off the coffee or slow down on the meth, one or the other. And he's got me in a stranglehold where I finally had to push his hand away from me because I couldn't breathe.
Right.
And I grabbed him up under the arm, and I said, I kind of said it low so nobody could hear me.
Yeah.
I said, I'm a policeman, you're coming with me. And he's doing the but. And so I take him to where the security office is.
Uh-huh.
And those guys were pleased when we got somebody because nonstop complaints.
Right.
So I take the guy in there, he's but, and I take him in there, and I said, sir, I'm, vice detective, you did this, that's against the law, and all this. And he looks at me, and he goes, but I'm a minister. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm a minister. I'm a minister of this church. So he was thinking this was going to get him out of going to jail.
Right.
I said, well, it's nice to meet you, sir, but just because you're a minister doesn't mean you're not going to jail. So I need your first name and last name. Mm-hmm. And he seemed to be kind of okay with it. He wasn't a jerk at all. He just kind of sat down and goes, okay. I go, what's your first name? He goes, Richard. What's your last name? He goes, Sukin. I go, Sukin. And he spelled it like Suchin. I said, so wait a minute. He goes, I'm Richard Sukin, but you can call me Dick.
Oh, boy.
I said, wait a minute. Your name is Dick Suckin?
God damn.
And he looks at me and was like, yeah. And I'm like, I kind of laughed. He goes, what you laughing for? I go, don't you see the giant coincidence and the irony of this whole thing whirling around us? He goes, no, I do not. Your name is, you go by Dick Sutton? And what just you was wanting to do down there? And he goes, no, I don't, but if that's what you're saying, okay. And I was, did all the paperwork. And he was still flummoxed by what I was trying to point out. Uh-huh. So so he goes off because the wagon would come there. They had a special place. Yeah. They would take him down to lockup. And then my captain, Captain Davy Crockett was his nickname.
Yes.
He was always about the community, and we bought into it, making the community better, making that area better and safe for everyone.
Right.
Well, if we ever got somebody like that of prominence, he would always notify the church or whatever. Yeah. The school, because we had run-ins with school teachers too. And so he calls up the church the next day, and the deacon of the church goes, after the captain told him about it, he goes, we're not surprised by that.
Oh, boy.
He goes, we sent him to a couple of classes, and he said he was cured, and we didn't think anything about it. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And I was like, that didn't work out the way they thought. I don't think this guy ever would have been cured. I just think that's just the way he was. You know?
Yeah.
He's just going to have to control himself on his own. And so anyways.
And let me just clarify. We're not talking about being cured of being a homosexual. We're talking about being cured of having sex in public restrooms. Correct? Right. Yes.
Right. We're not talking. This is just my opinion. I don't think you cure a guy of being a homosexual.
Well, no, absolutely not. And there's no reason to try curing someone of that. However, the behavior of public sex is something that, needs to be rectified. Yes.
Yeah, because if, women who are generally not perverts, if women were coming into the men's stalls and, giving guys head jobs and people, the women would have to go to jail, even though that would never happen.
Exactly. So yes. And again, we've said this before, we're not picking on homosexuals. We're picking on people having sex in public. Yes.
Yes. In front of kids. Because the first time I ever did one of these investigations, there was an 8-year-old kid in front of me. We walked into this department store bathroom on the second floor that was notorious for this stuff.
Yes.
Walk in, all the stalls were full of guys, all the urinals were full of guys. They weren't doing anything. They were just sitting there, doing the shifty-eyed looking around.
Right.
At who's going to drop the meat out first. And the little boy looked up at me like, what is going on? I said, I don't know, but you need to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's like, who gives a crap of what kind of sex you have? You just can't do it in public where there's kids around.
Exactly. So that leads me to my...
Now, I have a couple follow-up questions first, if that's all right.
Well, go ahead, A-Train.
So, first of all, was that his actual name?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have to.
No. It's a twist on what his actual name was.
Oh, thank goodness, because I was gonna have to delete that. So his real name was just as ironic.
His real name was just as ironic.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we're gonna have to just trust you that his real name.
Well, I'll tell it to you, and you can cut it out.
No. Don't say it. Don't say it. But his real name is just as ironic as Dick Sukin.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Question number 2. He actually got on the urine-soaked floor of the bathroom and slid under the stall to see what you were doing.
Oh yeah. Exactly. It was like jumping head first. It was like he was a member of Jackass. He didn't give a shit.
Okay, number 3. You say the glory hole stall, which was at the end, was occupied.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did they take reservations? Was there a sign-up sheet? Was there a host? I'm gonna say this with a double entendre. It was first come, first served. That was real good. That was a good one, Super E.
Thanks.
Okay, those were my 3 follow-ups. Please continue.
All right. Well, the second one, I was in another kind of. It was like the first mall in our town.
Okay.
And it rhymes with Teeth Tate. Teeth Tate Mall.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to say it again. Oh, okay. I got it. I know what you're talking about. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm out there, and again, it was always a lunchtime thing. There's always lunchtime crowd complaints.
Okay.
So I'm in there, and you got to kind of stand around because sometimes there's nobody in the bathroom. So you're like, do, counting the tiles on the floor, whatever.
Right.
And so then when you hear that door open, then you're standing at the urinal. When you're standing at the urinal and you're facing it, you have an expectation of privacy.
Yes.
If you turn away from the urinal to show people what you got, that's when you break in the expectation of privacy, and now that's public. And if you're exposing yourself, that's public indecent. So I'm standing there.
Okay.
And then I hear the door open, but nobody comes in. And the person left. So I thought, well, I said, you know what, this ain't happening. So I started to walk out, and as I'm walking out, somebody come in, and it was a young dude, a young guy. He looked like he was 19. He walks by me, and I'm wearing can we say wife beater now, or are we not saying that?
Well, we'll say it. It's politically incorrect, but we're going to say it just because you're describing what you were wearing.
That's how I look.
Uh-huh.
White wife beater, jeans, work boots.
Right.
Long, flowing, luxurious hair.
Of course.
And I'm just standing there, and this dude walks past me and puts his index finger on my chest as he walks by and does little circles, goes, nice. And I'm like, oh my God. So he walks over to the urinal, and he drops it out, but he's facing it. So I'm washing my hands, and he keeps looking at me. He's talking to me. And he goes, hey, have you had lunch yet? And I'm like, no. He goes, well, you hungry for lunch? Well, yeah, I'm getting hungry for lunch. Well, I believe the lunch bell has rung. And he turns away from the urinal, and he faces at me. And of course, when somebody gets robbed at the store, the clerk always goes, "It was a bazooka," when it was a 22. I'm looking at this monstrous giant penis.
Whoa.
And it is unbelievably turgid, which is a legal term for erect.
Uh-huh.
And it's aimed right at me. And he's stroking 100 miles an hour like he's trying to light a fire.
Okay.
And he goes, "It's time for you to snack on this big, veiny, pink lunch sausage. Would you like some pink lunch sausage? Nibble down, get on it, take a bite." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I hope nobody walks in."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, as appetizing as that sounds, I have a second proposition for you." And he goes, "What's that?" As he's standing there beating his meat. I said, "Instead of me chowing down on your penis, how about," and I pull out a set of cuffs, "how about you put on these set of cuffs?" Which actually kind of excited him.
Uh-huh.
Until I said, "Because I'm with the vice branch of the police department and you're under arrest, public indecency." And again, it takes him a second to slow down on the meat beating with their erection. And he's still beating his meat. I said, "You could stop with the masturbation because you're not going to finish this." And he goes, "Am I really going to jail?" "Yes." "Quit stroking it." "Oh my God, I can't go to jail." "All right, put it back in your pants." And finally he puts it back in his pants. He goes, "I can't go to jail." I go, "Why not?" He goes, "I got to give mass at 7:00. I'm a priest." I go, "How old are you, Doogie Howser priest?" And he's like, "I'm, like 23. He goes, "I have to give mass tonight." And he became a little defiant. "I cannot be going to jail." And he started like marching out after he zipped up his pants. And I reached out and I grabbed his shirt that I think said "Wham" on it. And I said, "No, you've got to go with me." He goes, "I'm giving mass." I go, "Well, you will be giving mass tonight, but it'll be in front of about 100 degenerate criminals who are going to be eyeing you wantingly." Yeah. And he goes, "Oh my God, no!" But he cooperated and he went out without incident. But that was just a few of the run-ins with the clergy I've had that people ask me about.
Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to say it again. Listen, listeners, Super E train, we are heterosexuals. However, we could care less what your orientation is.
Yeah, we don't care.
However, whether you're having homosexual sex, exposing yourself, having heterosexual sex, you can't do it in a public bathroom where kids could be walking in, right?
And I will say this. We locked up hundreds of men and women that were having sex on the street on the hot dog stand.
Exactly.
Because they would pull off somewhere, and then me and RJ would just walk up on them, and there they are. The girl was giving the guy head. They both went to jail for public indecency. You can't do shit in public.
Yeah, I mean, it can be summed up in one phrase: get a room.
Exactly.
That's all you got to do. Get a room. Do whatever the hell you want to do. And
the thing is, I would say one about what happened with my partner, the Cuds. Are we out of time?
Let's save that. Let's save that for the next one.
We'll save that one. So X that out.
Okay. So I mean, public sex, public indecency in restrooms at the mall where you're, trying to do some shopping or whatever. But it is even more egregious when those people are members of the clergy.
Yes, and we try to be very respectful to them, but we can't have it doing it because you don't know how many angry mothers we had to deal with that their kids saw this, their kids saw that.
Yeah.
And they wanted something done now. And you didn't sit there and go, "Oh, well, we can't do it. Sorry." No, you had to get something done because that what the public dictates what they want us to do.
That's exactly right. And I mean, that's it. Anybody that has kids, nobody wants them to walk into a bathroom at the mall and see people having sex.
Right. And you don't want to send your kids to the the best strip joint. Oh, watch mommy work. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah, you're protecting them as a parent, and so the mall is should be a safe place. If you got to go take a leak, go take a leak.
Exactly.
All right. Well, listen, that was very informative. I think a lot of our listeners our two listeners are going to be like, oh my gosh, really? So, oh boy.
But we're going to be listeners. We're going to be changing something up, but you have to wait.
Oh, we got a surprise for them, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Okay, we're not even going to tell you what it is.
Nope.
So you just got to keep tuning in.
It's like Who Shot JR? You have to wait.
Yes, you got to wait. To be continued.
All right.
See you guys. Bye.